Hey everyone, Trianne here. Welcome back to our Be That Create That social channels. I have our CRAVE Women's Retreat Committee here with me tonight. We had a planned committee meeting and we said, you know what? Let's go on and let's get some fire and focus on this retreat so that we can kind of share the committee and how we felt about the last conference and how kind of this retreat came to mind. So I want to welcome on Kelsey, Jordan, and Courtney joining us today. And we're going to be talking about the CRAVE Women's Retreat that's going to be coming up in January. So hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
I am so glad to have you guys on here. And I just want to ahead of time be like, I'm really excited for this to be a retreat in lieu of a bigger conference. I just think it's going to be a very cool setting. But I think for those that haven't seen where CRAVE really came from, I'm going to ask Courtney to just share how CRAVE even came about when we went doing it in 2021. Why don't you share that story with us?
Sure. So in 2021, I felt like I really wanted a place to convene with women after the pandemic, knowing that I wanted a place to connect and just a place to talk about all of the things that we've been craving during the pandemic. And come to find out, it's not just pandemic related, it's life related and making connections with women. And so this is our second year. So we're pushing on our second conference of sorts that we're doing, and excited to be back doing it again in a different type of format. But we're excited for what this looks like in a retreat setting for women.
Yeah, I love the more intimate setting. And, you know, we're using words like nourish your mind, your body, your soul. It's going to be a beautiful, cozy log cabin, which I'm so excited about, especially it's going to be January 12th through the 14th. I'll make sure I get the dates up there for you guys as well. And then we'll make sure we get the link to that in the comments so that you can jump on and register. I would encourage, I always think anyway, when I go on a retreat, I'm going to like gather all my friends so that it can be our women's retreat getaway as well. And then this just happens to have an enormous amount of personal development for us as well. So Kelsey is new to our committee this year. She's already been super influential. Kelsey, why don't you go ahead and share, you know, what you're excited about for the retreat and maybe what your portion of teaching is going to be.
I'm excited to be in a smaller group and get to connect and learn and share with other women who maybe are in a different stage of life and provide different outlooks and different goals and kind of grow from there. I'll have some of my woodworking stuff, which I do out of my shop, but excited to do it with a new group of women maybe, and kind of see what creativity lies inside everybody.
And I love that you bring up the point that it's like we're all in different areas of this life, and what can we learn from each other? I found that when I go to retreats, some of those little side conversations they're my biggest aha moments.
Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing what you can gain from talking to other women and where they're at in life.
Yeah, I love it. Now, Jordan was one of our sought after speakers from the first conference. She was one of the ones that the women were like, bring her back, bring her back. So, Jordan, why don't you share with us maybe what your experience was from that first conference and, you know, what you're most excited about coming into this one?
So I remember at the first conference, we talked a lot about money myths and the for example, that debt is good. It's good to have debt, and what your credit score means. A lot of people think credit score means I'm doing really well with money, but really that means you've just borrowed a lot of money and you've paid it back consistently. It has nothing to do with your wealth. So just kind of, talking to people about changing their mindset about stuff and a lot of the myths that are out there that are actually holding them back from truly having a prosperous life. I'm really excited about the retreat because I feel like we can really, I remember there being a ton of questions after I talked, and to be able to do that in a smaller setting and really help people, hopefully, gain some new knowledge, make some changes with finances or learn something new. I'm really excited about that being in a smaller setting.
Yeah, and what's interesting, I think, is that when we first started talking about this, we looked and looked and looked for a big venue to be able to do conference size again that wasn't a hotel, right? And it just kept, Courtney and I talked about this. It just kept coming down to where like we couldn't find just the right space. And then finally I'm like, how about we just maybe, and both of us said, oh my gosh, this feels so good. I think this is the right thing to do. So Courtney, maybe share with us, how you were feeling in that moment when we said, hey, let's go from 200 people to 12.
Sure. So, saying we were going to do this event again, I just had it in my brain that we were going to do it exactly like we did it last time. We were going to have a stage and we were going to have speakers and we were going to have vendors and things like that. And like Tran said, it just wasn't jiving. Like nothing was really fitting together well. And Tran and I actually had been to another retreat that she sort of helped lead at one point, and I came in as a speaker. I have been to several retreats similar to this, and it has shaped me in ways that I didn't know was possible in a weekend away. And so when we kept just getting stuck and running into challenges with that initial conference planning, when this idea, Trian just said, why don't we just do a retreat? It was like, yes, that is what we need to do. This gives us an opportunity to connect with one-on-one with all of these speakers, connecting with all of the attendees, that they can get questions answered and they can have better connections and build relationships and things that are really necessary. And again, things that we really crave.